All right, sixth graders, we're going to review multiplying fractions. So if you have a fraction times a fraction, remember it's not like adding and subtracting fractions. You don't need common denominators. So all you're going to do is multiply the tops, and you're going to multiply the bottoms, and then reduce, or as you guys like to call it, RITs. So I'm going to do 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 5 is 10. And now is there something that I can reduce 4/10 by? Well, 2 divides into both of them, so I can divide 4 by 2 and get 2, and divide 10 by 2 and get 5. 2/5. Now remember that if you wanted to, you could also cancel out or reduce before you multiply. So remember, if you have a number on the top and a number on the bottom that share factors like 4 and 2, then you can reduce. So I can divide the 4 by a 2 and a 2 by a 2 and reduce. Then I still multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, and reduce. So 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 5 is 5, and now, unlike before, I got the same answer, but I did my reducing before I did the multiplication. Remember also that if you have a whole number, we have to take this whole number and make it into a fraction without changing its value. The way we do that is we put it over 1. So my problem is really 1/4 times 3 over 1. Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, and RITs. Whoops, spelled that wrong. Sorry. There's nothing to reduce, so I'm just going to go ahead and multiply 3/4. Okay? And finally, the last type of problem we're reviewing today is multiplying mixed numbers. So what do we do when we have mixed numbers? Well, we have to make improper fractions. Hopefully you have this in your notebook. If you don't, you can always back up the video and go ahead and write it in your notebook. So you need improper fractions. So to do that, we take the bottom number times the big number, and we add the top number. So 4 times 2 plus 1, 9/4. The 4 stays the denominator. Now let's do that again for this fraction. 4 times 3 plus 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14/3. If you want, you can go ahead and reduce before you multiply. So this 3 can be divided by 3, and the 9 divided by 3. The 4 divided by a 2, and the 14 divided by a 2. So now I have 21 halves. So after I multiply the tops, I multiply the bottoms. Reducing now might mean turning it back into an improper fraction. So how many sets of 2 are in 21? How many times does 2 go into 21? It goes 10 times. 10 times 2 is 20, so I have 1 left over. All right, so no common denominators. Multiply your tops, multiply your bottoms, change all improper fractions and change all mixed numbers and whole numbers to improper fractions. Have fun!